if you can think like 5 years ahead, apart from the things that you just mentioned, what would you say would be the biggest areas that would get impacted by blockchain? I don't know. Personally, I'm thinking things like law, contract law.
Well, the
Um,
first area should be impacted. It's not, it's going to be impacted. It's only when we want it to be impacted. Like humans are by and large, they are in control and they have discrimination. Therefore, it's what humans want. And that's why it's either the technology either slower or faster. But the real impact is first going to be on the law, as you said, because that is the foundation of the technology. Because without having, the smart contracts, being able to be accurate and to be suitable for the industry that we get a change, could be any industry. Therefore the lawyers and the law and the constitution, basically we start from the constitutions. We're digitalizing the constitution. Once you digitalize the constitution, then you are able to check the constitution and have everybody vote yes, no, maybe, and that will be able to actually give us an accurate way forward of how the law should be. And yes, we use the AI in that regard, and we use quantum computing in that regard to manage the impact of that decision on the constitutional level. Therefore, it's not even the laws, this is on the constitutional level, is where everything started, and it's going to be, everybody would know his right, and everybody will track his right and track the others if they're following the same right. Therefore, the constitution must be digitalized before any other law can be digitalized.
that's very interesting. I haven't actually thought about that. But yeah, I can see a time when we will have a society without lawyers. We're going to be closer to Jannat at that time, I think.
Well, not necessarily the Jannah is in your heart, really. It's you understand. It's all you, because the world as we see, we can either say Alhamdulillah and we accept, or
Yeah.
we make changes, but we cannot make changes if we haven't changed ourselves. Therefore,
Yeah.
you can radiate change, but not speak change. It's impossible to speak change because it's a
Mm.
lot of voices. But once you radiate change, like the Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam did, it's easy implemented. It's actionable. It's there. It's practical. It's not in the air.
See, I can sense the underlying tasawwuf behind your love for technology, and I think that's really really important. And it's nice to see that spirituality shouldn't be like a cut off silo, but it should be something that impacts all of our lives. So it's really nice to hear you talking about these things in somewhat of like a spiritual point of view.
Well, we are made of not just intellect. Intellect feeds from our spirit. Definitely. It's no separation between spiritual and non-spiritual, because it's not something we decide on. We have a spirit, aren't we? Do we?
Yeah.
We have a spirit, we have a body, and we have an intellect, and we have a heart. It's about aligning those to serve humanity, and not be just consumed by you, because once you're consumed by you, you are unable to think others. And that's where the challenge is in this time, because greed, what made people steal the water and sell it. The greed, that what make people go into the mines and let the children work in it. The greed is what made the prices of things go up. It's not normal human being or human nature that you want to benefit and profit for every piece that's not yours. It's given by Allah. It's Allah's right, but Allah made us responsible. We have to look after it, but is not that we destroy, you know, people destroy nations and destroy places for the sake of filling up the coffins of the banks. And that's basically where the problem is greed and the thinking of separating between the spirit and the intellectual, the heart. Is just how education played a role for the last few years to get us to where we are at the moment.
Absolutely. Um, that's why currently it's actually quite sad to see the distribution of wealth in all countries wherever you go. How the difference between the 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 people on the top and basically the rest of the people, and it's it's absolutely fine. It's natural to earn an income, to have wealth, but the disconnect between people, I think, is what's quite alarming in all countries that we're seeing at the moment, whether it's in the West or Asia or developing countries or developed countries. Um, there's countries within countries now.
Yeah. But this,
Can you tell me a little bit?
yes, sir.
I'm sorry.
No.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. You.
Can you tell me a little bit about some interesting projects that you may be involved in or may not be involved in, but would be aware of in terms of blockchain in Morocco?
Well, Morocco, as you know, just arrived mid Ramadan. I'm basically assessing, looking into different areas of interest. But as we see, the government or the Ministry of Digital Transformation is a she's a minister, and she's doing a great job. Therefore, at the moment, there is definitely first step is to align the other administration to think digital. Then the work will start. Therefore, the first step is alignment, that the ecosystem is being created through the whole administration. And that's what I see. That's what I see that the King Muhammad VI, may Allah bless him, as gave his instruction to digitalize the administration, that the corruption is no more there, and that's the reason why he wants to do so. And the minister, Rita, Dr. Rita, she's doing a great job. I mean, there is nothing for me to be done from my side, or even advise which ecosystem, which work on the blockchain is yet, because she's doing the foundation of it, which is creating an ecosystem. Before you do any use case on the blockchain, this is basically the strategy, as you would read in the simplified blockchain that I sent to you, if I remember. I don't know if you have the copy, but in there it mentions the need of creating the ecosystem before creating the use case, because the ecosystem is what maintains the use case. Therefore, everybody creates a use case, then they want to create the ecosystem. It will never work.
It's very true.
Yeah.
This reminds me. So I used to work in the National Archives in the UK.
Yeah.
As a civil servant, and I was working in the digitization department, the digital department.
Yeah.
So initially, I worked there, I think, for about 10 years or more. And yeah, so we had a department with lots of resources and everything. But then it was interesting that by the end, by the time I was leaving, we got to the stage where the CEO decided that we don't need a digitization department or digital department anymore, because this needs to be something now that's embedded in every single department.
Yeah.
So we don't really need to have a separate department that's telling us digitization. So that's where we need to get to.
Exactly. I mean, you're talking about digitalization, just somebody that don't even know how to change his password. How do you do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now you're doing wrong, because we talk, the Rasul said, speak to the people according to the level of the intellect. Therefore, for you to speak digitalization, you have to bring them into that arena. You have to
Yes.
educate them in that arena, not force them on an application level yet, but just speak to them about it and let's see how far they can go and what function they can play, because each one is going to have a function within the blockchain. It's not a loss it's not really 100% digitalization, because the humans are needed still for nodes, for certain application, for approvals, for change of policies, for it's a lot, for mechanical, for robots, for sensors, for a lot of things, because it's just a change of application, not necessarily writing, on a book every day, but approving certain things every day on the internet. So therefore, it's not a loss of jobs; it's just a change of jobs. It's going to be another application to your job rather than the same job that you had. For even the lawyers will have nodes, they will have an application to play. They have something to play within the network. It's not they're
Yes.
gonna lose their job. They're just not gonna, earn so much exorbitant money from one client. But if they have 1,000, 100,000 clients, they will earn more. Therefore, that's dynamic where it's not you're gonna lose jobs or you're gonna lose income, but it's gonna change everything in dynamic in the way you approach that field of your expertise or whatever. It can be transportation, can be tax, can be law, can be education. All of that's going to be changed, but to the good. And only those ones that want change will succeed. The ones that don't want change, I mean, there's always a sport to play.